Okay, let's talk all about the Willamette Valley, which is one of the world's great regions for Pinot Noir. In fact, I would argue that Willamette Valley and Pinot Noir are synonymous. In my mind, it's very similar to how if I think of Napa Valley, I think of Cabernet Sauvignon. If I think of Marlborough, New Zealand, I think of Sauvignon Blanc. Or if I think of the Moselle region in Germany, I think of Riesling. But how did we get here? Why is the Willamette Valley so perfect for Pinot Noir? Well, it's actually not an accident. It is this wonderful combination of climate, geography, soils, and heat accumulation. For this video, I'm going to focus on the Willamette Valley's climate, why Pinot Noir dominates here for the plantings, what other grape varieties thrive here, and why this region is emerging as a serious producer of sparkling wine, which is my personal favorite. The Willamette Valley is best described as a cool climate region with a long growing season, and it's this combination that's critical. Spring comes in pretty gradually. Our summers are warm, but they're usually not excessively hot, and the rain drops off significantly during this growing season. In fact, it's typical to go from about mid-June to mid-September without any rain at all. This dry summer pattern reduces disease pressure and enables the grapes to stay on the vine well into the fall. Just as important are the cool nights. Daily temperature swings or diurnal shifts allow the grapes to ripen more evenly and slowly rather than rushing towards sugar accumulation. This also helps preserve acidity and aromatic compounds in the grapes, which leads to wines that are fresh and balanced rather than heavy or overripe. One of the most useful tools for understanding the climate here is growing degree days, which measures how much heat the grapevines accumulate during the growing season. To determine growing degree days, each day's average temperature is calculated above a base threshold, usually 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and those values are added up from bud break through harvest. What matters here is cumulative heat over time, not extreme heat spikes. Grapevines very much prefer the consistency, not having extremes one way or the other. So the Willamette Valley usually falls into the range of 2,000 to 2,500 growing degree days for the season, which puts it into Winkler Region 1. These regions are ideal for early to mid ripening varieties, helping explain the region's balance of ripeness, acidity, and moderate alcohol levels. So why does the Willamette Valley consistently land in this ideal growing degree day range? The answer is geography. The valley runs north to south and is bordered by two mountain ranges. To the west, the coast range blocks much of the Pacific Ocean's heavy rainfall. To the east, the Cascade Range creates a shadow that limits extreme continental heat. One of the most influential features of the geography here is what's called the Van Duzer Corridor. It's a natural break in the coast range to the west that allows cool air from the Pacific to funnel into the valley. This is especially important during the hottest parts of the growing season because it moderates temperatures and allows the grapes to ripen more slowly and evenly. The result is a region that avoids extremes and consistently favors balance. Let's transition to the grapes grown here. Pinot Noir is famously demanding. It's thin-skinned, sensitive to heat. It doesn't tolerate extremes very well. In fact, one of the PhD students I work with it refers to as a diva. But here in the Willamette Valley, it thrives and it dominates the plantings. As you can see by the chart that I just threw up, it represents about 70% of the vineyard acreage here in the Willamette Valley, which reflects how well it aligns with our region's conditions. It also represents the majority of wine produced here in Oregon, and nearly 70% of Pinot Noir produced here in Oregon comes from the Willamette Valley. Now, Pinot Noir may dominate, but it's not alone. Chardonnay performs exceptionally well here, especially in restrained, acid-driven styles. Pinot Gris ripens reliably in cool conditions and is the valley's most planted white grape variety. Riesling benefits from the long season and preserved acidity, and Gamay has shown increasing promise in cooler sites. All of these grapes share similar needs: moderate heat, a long ripening season, and climates that favor nuance over power. I mentioned sparkling wine earlier. The same climate factors that enable cool climate variety grapes to thrive are also why the Willamette Valley is turning into an increasingly important region for sparkling wine. The long and cool growing seasons results in grapes with high natural acidity but moderate sugars, which is exactly what traditional method sparkling wine requires. In recent years, the number of sparkling wine producers in the valley has grown rapidly, and sparkling wines now represent a fast-growing share of Oregon's overall wine production. Similar to Champagne, Willamette Valley sparkling wine is typically derived from Pinot Noir and Chardonnay grapes, but you can also find some other fun sparkling versions here, including Riesling, Pinot Gris, Pinot Blanc, Sauvignon Blanc, Gruner Veltliner, and there's even a sparkling Malbec here. In many ways, the Willamette Valley's climate is not just suited to sparkling wine, it is naturally optimized for it. Coming full circle, the Willamette Valley's success is not due to a single factor. Climate, geography, and heat accumulation work together to create conditions that reward balance, precision, and freshness. Pinot Noir leads the way, other cool climate grapes follow, and sparkling wine is quickly becoming part of this region's DNA. But wait, didn't I mention something earlier about soil? I did, but I'm going to save that for part 2 of this series because I have the literal rock star of soil science from Oregon State University lined up to talk all about the soils here. So hit the subscribe button or check back for part 2 and let me know if you found this video helpful for understanding why the Willamette Valley is so ideal for cool climate grapes. Cheers.